All right, everybody, I went ahead and got on the headers. For this side, what you want to do is go ahead and go straight in this way, and yeah, they fit great. There's a lot of space in between the steering rack, and be sure to put in your bolts or your studs, whatever you're going to use, in last. And don't forget your head gasket in between, and you want to tighten them up where you see no daylight. I know once they seem pretty tightened, you can still put a flashlight during the night, you can still see it from underneath. So make sure it's all flat. Make sure you start in the middle. You know, start off with this one, this one, this one, this one, back, front. This side, I had the AC unit on. Alright, so I still need to do the wire harness. You don't have to take it off. I did because I didn't know how to install them. But for this side, they fit great. What you want to do is go in from underneath. I had the truck on the on some wheel ramps, car ramps, but you actually had to lift it up higher. So what we did is we lifted it up from the subframe up front, lifted it up, and now it's back on the jack stand. But as you can see, we had to clear a hole, move all the wood and clear up a hole just so you can fit up the header from underneath, because it is a rough angle. You can't just go straight in. It's like really in there. So make sure your truck is, or whatever, your OBS is lifted pretty high up from the frame so that you can actually turn the headers up in, because it is a tight space. So yeah, that's the only struggle I had, because I tried going in from the top, which is no good. Don't go from the top, make sure you go from underneath. And yeah, once you figure it out, get that angle to get up, the header will be up here, then it'll fall in. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. The wire harness is coming up. Here it is. I went ahead and have everything labeled, so y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all, today we just got done putting on the front accessories. This video, we're gonna go ahead and get on the headers. We're gonna use eBay exhaust studs right here, all the way to the back. Obviously with long tube headers, if they don't go in through the top, you have to go in through the bottom. The ones I'm using are Schoenfeld. Everybody runs them, they work. So yeah, let's go and get this started. All right, y'all, we're back. Here are the headers hanging. We went and took off as much of the black gunk as we can. This is cheap paint. It'll come off, it'll burn off as smoke over time. So we went ahead and scratched it off, let the metal show, and we're gonna paint it. Where's the paint can? Here it is, y'all. This is the paint we're gonna use, flame-proof. Hopefully one can will do it. Now, as we wait for the paint to cool, the headers, they're still wet, waiting for them to dry off. We're gonna go ahead and put on the eBay exhaust manifold studs. I'm gonna put them on both sides, and then we're gonna go ahead and tighten them up with this high temp red throck. No idea, I think they're poisonous berries. Anyways, so we're finally gonna get started on these headers, painting them. So I'm going to skip the process, y'all. You already know, just overlap as you spray, flip it over to the other side. Make sure you tape up where the flange touches the head, and make sure you put a piece of tape where the threads for the O2 sensor goes. After this, we're going to be struggling to go ahead and put on the headers. Alright, y'all, looks like the headers are now fitting from the top, no matter which way I put it in. So I'm gonna try it from underneath. I went ahead and took off the header studs because they're in the way, so I went ahead and took them off. I put them in last. All right, y'all, when I was down there, I noticed that the fuel lines, the original OBS fuel lines, were over here in this area. What you want to do is go ahead and drag them back in front of the wiring for the original. Go ahead and put them to the front and make sure they're in this area here so we can do our connections here. All right, y'all, in the rebuild kit by BTR, they do have manifold gaskets. These are multi-layer. All right, so this side stays down, manifold side, talk out, just like that. Oh yeah, it's fitting in just like a glove. All right, y'all, if y'all using stock replacement bolts, then just torque them down to spec. With these, you just tighten down the actual stud, and then the nuts, I'm gonna just tighten the hell out of them. And if there's a leak, I just tighten them more. That's my way of thinking of it. So yeah, I mean, if it's not leaking, exhaust fumes or anything, then it's fine. But if it's leaking, I just tighten it up. Obviously, you want to tighten up from the middle out. So this one, here, here, and then the outside one and the front one. All right, y'all, for the passenger side, see the way that the head is laid out? That's the way you want to go ahead and get it in. So if you got your canister or whatever, make sure it's this way. I'm gonna try to do it with one hand. Obviously, you got the bell housing, you got the frame, you got the transmission. It's pretty tight. So turn it this way. Right now it's hitting the bell housing, lift up. Right now it's not, and then you want to push it in. Alright, y'all, looks like I have to take off the AC unit, the dirty dingle mount. Have to take that off. So if you're doing LS swap, put in the headers first, then the AC. Dang it. Alright, y'all, went ahead and loosened up the bolts. Went ahead and got the AC unit, the R4 pancake over to the side to see if it fits. Still hitting the firewall. Alright, yeah, I got an update. You don't have to take off the AC mount because they go underneath. Everybody says you have to push the engine forward. Mine is all the way forward. I can't go any more forward. So I got that out the way, and we have to jack it up. It is gonna be sketchy though, because it's sitting on top of this. I need to block off the tires, jack it up. New stands. I have no idea. I'm thinking about using this. Lift it up a little bit. We'll see. Alright, y'all, well, my dad came to the rescue again. We went ahead and jacked up the frame from the front. Well, not really the frame, the lower control arm, which is dangerous. That's hooked up to the lower control arm, which is dangerous. Jack on the frame. There it is. So that's the only one that's actually pretty safe. But we moved all kinds of wood, dirt, and debris. You have to raise the frame. See how earlier the space between this was sitting on here? We had to lift it up. Lift up the frame high enough to get the headers into the bottom. So yeah, it worked out. Appreciate everybody's help on the Facebook group. Alright, y'all, so I didn't have to take off the AC unit. Gotta put that back on. Just lift up the frame and you'll be able to get it underneath. We went ahead and also dug a little bit of a hole just so we get extra clearance because we didn't feel safe about it. Anyways, they got in. I got the last stud in hand tight as best as I can, and then I'm gonna get the bolt in and then tie everything up because I couldn't get this tool in there, and I don't have the Allen wrench for it, which also sucks. Yeah, there it is. Let's go and get all your bolts up. Make sure you can't see light between the gasket, the headers, and the heads. tighten them all up, and there it is. Schoenfeld. I think they're the 1302L headers. Link will be in the description below. So yeah, make sure you have your engine and your transmission mounted up all properly all the way forward. Lift up the frame, you'll be able to get this side in. This side was easier through the bottom. Did that by myself. Had my dad help me out because he needs an extra hand up here. So there it is, y'all.